Hey, welcome back. This is Ace, and it's Project Zomboid, episode 12. So we left our home in sunny little West Point, the east side of West Point here, and we traveled via a pretty circuitous route to get up to the west end of the map, past Riverside. Right here, there's a barricade, and here there's a barricade, and this one had a Bushmaster, ADI Bushmaster from KI5 behind it. I think it's a guaranteed spawn point, or at least has been consistent for me across two different games. Although the first game had two Bushmasters here, this one only had one. And so I brought that back down here, bring a sledgehammer to get through the barricades, or bring an axe to get around the barricades. And I brought that back here to this warehouse south by southwest of Riverside, really just pretty much southwest. The big manufacturing building is right here, and then there's that little warehouse building on the back. Thought I'd stop in there on the way back and just check to see if there were any more sledgehammers there, metal pieces, welding rods. We're running low on welding rods. I knew I'd probably find a few of those there. And boy, we weren't disappointed. So let me show you the haul that we brought back. We're going to go ahead and load all that stuff in the Bushmaster. And we've got the tow truck from KI5 as well as the Bushmaster, and we're towing the Bushmaster with the tow truck. So this is what we brought out of, this isn't even a complete list. This is just the stuff I cared about. Left in here were bags of concrete, sand, plaster, paint, metal that I wasn't going to pick up, like pipe and metal bars and so on. Plenty of parts from KI5, seats and rims and the like. This is just stuff that I cared to pick up, including the weapons that I got from, there was a officer outside that we took a weapon off of, and, a couple stops along the way. But for the most part, everything you see here that's industrial is out of this building or out of the Bushmaster itself. Two sledgehammers of note were in this building, 12 propane torches, definitely worth stopping. The antique stove was in this crate right here. The last save I had, this crate was in the other building in the factory itself in one of the crates. So I'd say there's a reasonable chance of this spawning in one of these two spots. And other notable stuff, oh gosh, so much metal. I went ahead and just grabbed the metal sheets, the scrap metal and the small sheets. But honestly, if you can make metal sheets, if you get that recipe, I think you can do that at level 2, and then you just need to find the book. But at that point, if you just make small metal sheets out of these and then turn them back into big ones and back and forth, you lose 25% each exchange. But I think if you were starting from level 2 or 3 and you had all the books, skill books along the way, and you stopped and read them each time, I bet you'd get really close to level 7 or 8 on your metalworking just from the metal in this warehouse alone. And you can just, say, hey, convert 30 sheets and then hit time speed up. And so 5 minutes of real time later, well, okay, you got to read the book. So maybe 10 minutes of real time later, and you're 6 or 7 on metalworking. So I think this is the way to power level metalworking right here in this building. We've also got plenty of welding rods, obviously, plenty of nails, some screws, 19 rolls of duct tape, brand new, and a bunch of wood glue, 11 wood glue, brand new, again, full propane tank, a full propane tank, and yeah, stuff. So we grabbed everything that I cared about. I put it in these garbage bags, and now it's time to load up the Bushmaster and see if we can fit it all in there. I've done the math, and I think it all fits in there with two seats left over. Let's just hedge. I think it's going to be 3 left over, but let's just hedge and say 2. So this side bin is going to go ahead and get this one right here. Oh, wait a minute. Toggle that off. There we go. Okay. So this goes ahead and goes in the fender. And we're going to grab this tire out of there. That in this compartment with it. It's going to take us 38 of 45. I like that for now. So we'll go ahead and close it. in. We're going to get 4 of these bags in there. Oh, 3 of these bags rather, sorry. I went ahead and built the roof storage for the Bushmaster as well. And I wish that he lined these crates up, man. Every time I see that, I get a facial tick. But everything needed for that, it was just planks and rope, and everything needed for that was in this warehouse. So made it easy. The bay 4, we'll leave that open because that's got a little bit of room in it. Storage is accessed to the same place the door is. So we'll go back here to the back corner and put that in the roof storage. Probably getting my brain to work right now. Missing the obvious clip. There were 12 bags on the floor and only 10 were showing up on that list earlier. But there's even more stuff, even more of those items. But the 2 sledgehammers and the antique oven, those are the things I think that are going to really be worth the trip, and that metal. Seeds of pretty much, I think, every crop. So, and this has a roof that you can garden on, so you can go ahead and build your garden up on the roof. On the roof. This thing, when we're done, is going to look like the Beverly Hillbillies. So the first thing you know, old Jed's a millionaire. And folks said, Jed, move away from there. California is the place you ought to be. We can get 1 more in there, so we loaded up the truck and moved to Beverly. No, we can't. 87, 97, 07. Yep, just shy of 1 more. All right. In here. Now we're going to look at the seats. I've already got a thing sitting in one of the seats, on the floor right here, so we can fit another one on the floor. Now what we're going to do, I'm just down below below 10 right now for a reason. Let's go ahead and grab that oven. That's a 40. And thanks to the particular way the game is built into a seat that can accept 26, we can put an item that weighs 40. So there you go. Slap that in there. Boom. Or 49, 59 cannot take another bag, so that's going to go. Got the crew seat 4 and the stretcher slot. Can't find an in-game way of utilizing the stretcher slot for anything more than just a storage of 26. I mean, it's just basically another seat, except it replaced 2 or 3 seats. So I don't like this variant as much as the other ones, but you know, it's great. It's great no matter what. All right, there we go. We've now got this tire that I'm going to bring with us. That is 15, which I think is too much for over here. Yeah. Okay. But that'll fit very nicely on the roof. propane tank will fit nicely over here, though, and we're not supposed to transport propane inside the passenger area of a vehicle. So, oh, that won't fit, actually. 75 of 84. All right, we're going to close that. We're going to come over here to this compartment, which has plenty of room in it yet. We'll throw that propane tank in there. Yeah, I hear you out there, buddy. Yo, what's up? Probably want to see somebody about that asthma. And there we are. The Bushmaster's loaded up. We're ready to go. Check out these stats on it before I close the hood real quick. This is a great vehicle. Engine quality came in at 82% on a 97 quality engine. So many things at 100. This takes 5 cans outside, which can be either gas or water, so you can carry around plenty of extra water with you and not affect the interior storage at all. Gas as well. Radio is a military, obviously. This particular one had a performance muffler on it, which is just your standard heavy-duty unit, so you don't have to make anything weird for that. Brakes and suspension, again, same thing, just heavy duties. And tons of room for spare tires, not that you'll need them. These are all run flats, so once you get down to 25%, it stops moving. You lose traction, but, you know, it'll still drive. And great, great vehicle. We love this. I love this vehicle. Go ahead and drive this out. It's got a rear entry and exit, so you just got to get used to that. Took me a while before I stopped walking up to where a passenger driver door would be. But this warehouse complex, so this is the storage building. These two doors up here, there's more crates behind them, and then there's more crates here in this little section over here. So this is a great place to come if you want to open up a lot of crates in a short amount of time. You've got about 20 in this building. You've got about another 20 over here. Crates for days. This is where in my first save, my first run through, I built my base in here. And it was a great place for a base. You end up with so many resources to begin with, and you end up with so much storage and all those crates. The problem is that you are really at one end of the map. So once you start expanding, spreading around a little bit, Louisville is quite a drive away, and trying to bring back vehicles here eventually gets tiresome. So again, when you're hooking up with the tow truck, you see this by hook. So if I come back here to the Bushmaster, and I'm not seeing it right now. Previously, what I saw was, because I got close enough, is I saw the hook up here with a plus sign. But you want to make sure you choose the hook up by hook, because that is what's going to give you going around your vehicle like a trailer. Once we're in, I can hit the radial and adjust my towing height, pull that front end up off the ground a little bit. And we're ready to go. One cool feature of this is on that radial menu, you can detach this vehicle from inside the cab. You could just, if you're like, hey, I need to drop this and get out of here, you can just drop it and roll away. Just because sledgehammers are such a common at this thing, we're going to run out real quick and... Whoop, what happened to our... What happened to it? Wood pipe, welder mask. Yeah, I left a bunch of welder masks behind in there. The bag with a tire pump. And an iron pipe there. Yeah. Oh, you can even access these outside bins while you're towing the vehicle. I think that's just great. And talk about effortless towing. This is the way towing should be in the game for sure. This is a mod tow truck, and they've got an add-on for KI5's M79 Tow Truck. Be careful, your towing gets a little squirrely with something that big on the back end. As it would. There's a lot of weight back there, so it's lifting the front tires. I didn't have access to this truck when I was staying at that base in the other sandbox, so everything was towing, you know, like normal towing, which is to say, badly. When you bring something home from a fair ways away at 15 miles an hour, really quickly you decide to try and find an alternative. You know what? Just because I'm just that way. We're going to make a pass through the gated community just to see if there's anything really exciting that we want to mark on the map and come back for someday. I'm like, what is... Okay, it's upside down. What is... What vehicle is that? That's over here. Yeah, here it is. I'm not going to get in that way. Somebody bought into the Jeep Mystique. Parked in the middle of the lawn, dude. Rude. I don't think I've seen that before. Alright, well, this tour brought to you Why? Dead Clink. Just think of everything we're towing around behind us, that Bushmaster, along with all that gear. Effortless. Thank you, KI5, for such a wonderful tow truck. And thank you, Tow Truck Mod, for making it actually usable. I think this started as Harry's tow truck or something like that. And then there was, I guess, a broken version of it or something, and somebody updated it. So that's where to start your journey if you're looking for the one I found. It's tow truck, one word. Or two words, really, but no space between them. They just ran them together. I think we're on the right road. Whoop, watch out. Understeer. Oh, we must have just hit 2000. Yeah, we're on the right road. Not drive into the river. Unless the Zeds are all buried in foxholes waiting for me to jump out. Seems unlikely. Always worth looking in the back of a truck. I collect duct tape and use it and collect it and use it, and then one time I went to March Ridge and did the housing there, the dormitory or whatever, and I said, all right, I get it, I don't need any more duct tape. Walked out there with, I think, about 100 rolls of the stuff. Oh, yeah, food. How about some food? How about some food? I wonder if I can get in the other vehicle while it's being towed. I bet I can. Which may or may not immediately break that loose. let's go to food meds. Here we go. And we'll use the grab contents mod that we have to pull out of there evaporated milk and Biggie bolognese. Thinking that broke the tow, but let's find out. So it turned it into a normal tow, apparently. But we can just do that. All right then. That totally worked. I like it. Let's open these up. I'm using a mod that puts things back where they started. So yes, the can opener goes home after we open up these cans. Oh. As little as I've played this game, it's too much without having the stuff get put away for you, especially smoking. I grab a smoke, and every time I have to put the lighter back in the backpack, I'm just like, really? Alright, that's going to get us home. Rather, our fatigue was not where it is. We could stop for the night and take a rest real quick. I think our Z population is pretty low here. Let's do that real quick. .420, fine time to wake up. So we're off the map here. This is areas we haven't seen before. Gonna kind of go by the general idea of keep traveling west, or east rather. Ah, come on. Didn't manage to get a bite on. Good. Yeah, not worth it. Nice of them to have the crash off of the road, though, huh? like the cat eyes trait. That actually makes this pretty doable without the headlights on. Wow. It's Coachella. Actually, the mall. Now that's Coachella. That's go into the center of that parking lot and pop off a shotgun or two, shotgun round, shell, and then just get the heck out of there and come back a little bit later. Don't mind losing out on all the potential loot. Just toss a couple mollies in there and get out the marshmallows. Oh, okay. We just keep going straight and we're right on the road into West Point. Yeah, we just keep going straight. That's it. Just go across that. Just go through that field. Burned out hillbilly. Bull driver with a trailer. Boy, can you imagine anything less stable? You're off the map, Jack. But not for much longer. Not for very much longer. I've got to keep control. I remember in the time warp. Good old West Point, home again. Where there's a gun in every bedroom. So we're going to drop the Bushmaster off, and as long as I'm driving around in the tow truck and it's just about the right time of day, we're going to get a twofer of recovery in this episode. We're going to go down and grab another one of KI5's creations, a container, freight container. I know where there's one. And so we're just going to run down there and bring that home as well. Getting to be about time to look at moving into Louisville, I think. to get the road crew out here to salt the roads or something. Kind of slippery. And you're going through and you see a guy crawling along and you realize that you probably ran over him one day. He's like, you again, man. Just like that, we are home. So we hit the radio, click that, and then we just turn right around and drive away just like that. Super easy to leave that behind. Take your finger off the key for just a second to scratch your forehead, and next thing you know, Zed head is rolling across the hood. Best if you can try and drive on the same side of the road all the way, just because the next time you come through you'll find them all gathered on that side of the road, and then you can drive on the other side. Keep switching them back and forth. So where we are, we're coming up on what I call four corners. There's the Bark Enclosed, there's a gas station, here's a Spiffos and a used car lot, and the freight container we're looking for is in the used car lot on the southeast corner. So I'm gonna sort of sneak up on it here a little bit, hopefully not rile up too many Zeds. It's going to be around the other side. flick that one. There we go, just like that. Sneaky Pete. This thing would make an awesome flail. Oh. Really tough to use it correctly, though. That's going to take some practice. Yeah, all right, I'm just beating up the front of the tow truck more than anything. It'll be fun to experiment with this in a clear area with towing it normally with their tow rope and see if you can really turn this thing into a flail. Now that would be a blast. Go to the mall parking lot and just do donuts out there with this thing on the back. Oh, God, we're going to have to do that. I'm so going to have to do that. We're going to tow it there like this, and then we're going to flip it over to the other method and just start whipping this thing around in the parking lot. You see it now. Right here. Favorite weapon, freight container. Zombies killed 20,000. Favorite weapon, freight container. There it was. I have no idea which end of this is the opening end. Let's see if we can figure that out real quick. Be that end. So I'm going to place it right here alongside the building with the door facing the back of the Humvee. Go ahead and well, I'm not going to have you guys standing outside trying to break the door. Okay? Say. Kids, don't try this at home. So glad this game gives us engine sound effects so that I don't have to go brrr, brrr as I drive along, because really that's what I'm doing, is playing with Matchbox cars at this point. Look at that. Only opens the one door, all right. And we got a free dust mask with every purchase. I like it. I like that spot. I might think about taking these dumpsters away and putting it right there instead, but I think that the clipping error kicks in at that point. Having it on the backside, I think, is going to make it harder for the game to do that clipping issue when you're trying to put something like that in front of a building piece. So there we go. Well, successful run. We brought home the 97 ADI Bushmaster from KI5, which is just an awesome, awesome vehicle. Can't say enough nice about that. Great job to that person for doing that. We've got a container out here. All the doors work. Here where you put your water and your fuel containers. It can take a rooftop storage. We've got another storage on the side and another storage here. He says, I'm guessing KI5 is a he. They say, let's just say that. They say that you can remove this storage compartment and put a generator in that slot. And I did that. And I just didn't see the point. Like right now, this bin holds 58, especially because we have our organized bit. But even before, I think it held 45 or 50. Yeah, let's think it was 50. And generator's 40. So by replacing it, you're actually losing a few ticks of storage. And I was thinking that by putting that there, maybe you could fire the generator up while you're parked at a gas station, and then that would provide power to the gas station just like it were sitting on the ground. If that's the case, I couldn't get that to work, and this isn't a reason that I could think of that you'd want to be able to do that. So I'm thinking that was the idea, and maybe I just didn't see how to do it. But anyways, I took it out and put the regular compartment back on in the other save. I'll maybe play around with that again here, try it just to see if maybe I missed something the first time. Run flat tires, you can pop your head up through this hatch and you can fire in all directions from what I understand. I've seen some forum posts saying you can only fire to the right-hand side. But then I saw somebody saying, yeah, no, I haven't a problem with that. So I'll play with that a little bit and see. You can have a spare tire here. You can have a spare tire here. You can have another spare tire under here. So 3 spares, not that you'll need them. And just a ton of storage. You saw everything we fit in here at the beginning. Anyways, this is it. I'm going to go ahead and sign off here and just start putting stuff away. I'm probably going to decide at this point whether or not to move the base down to Louisville, because I think we're getting to be time to make that decision. If I stay here, I'm thinking about going ahead and removing this front door and put a garage door across these 4 spaces and have the main room there become the area where you actually park your daily driver and do your unload and so on. It's well lit. It's got a nice tile floor. It's a nice area to work in. These doors down here, this is not a bad spot, but it's just, I don't like it as much. And besides, it's got that big old hole in the floor. So anyhow, I got to make that decision and unload some stuff or load more stuff into some freight type things. The 35 flatbed holds 850 with that trait. So lots of storage available. I'm really hoping to find the semi truck soon with a big flatbed trailer on the back of that, from what I understand. But I don't know. I haven't seen it, so I can't speak to that yet. Oh, how much storage do we get here on the freight container? 1560. Nice. And you know what? It's a vehicle, and it can be towed, and it can be loaded up with the Bushmaster, just like the Bushmaster was. So really what you could do is you could put 1560 in the back of this, and then tow this over to your new base and carry 1500 at a time back and forth. That is the way to move your base. With what I have right now, the semi, from what I understand, could do probably even more than that, but I don't know. I haven't seen it yet. Anyways, this is Ace. This was a good run. Nothing went wrong. Everything went right. We found what we were looking for. And And 2 thumbs up if you get home and there's no blood on the floor, right? Thanks for sticking around. Let me know in the comments if it was fun, what you liked, and just let me know that you're hanging out and enjoying the show. I'll talk to you next time. Signing off.